Om Ahung Benzar Guru Pema Siddhi Hung. 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 Om Ahung. Om Ahung. Om Ahung. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oops. Let Randall in. As we begin this practice this morning, remembering that attentive awareness is like turning the doorknob to open this door to an enlightened experience. Awakened awareness is the method that we begin to peel back the layers. So awakened awareness happens in this moment, not in the past, not in the future, but here and now, right now. That makes this the most important moment. This one right here. So breathe, relax, center, smile. If you're feeling low or feeling tired, smile. Literally, smile. I'll begin with the path clearing and wish fulfilling prayer to Padmasambhava. Dosam Sangye Guru Rinpoche Nongdrup Kundak Dewa Chen Pojab Barche Kunsel Dudu Drak Potsel Sorwan Depso Jinji Dep Tu So Chinang Sangwei Barche Jiwadang Sampalunji Drupa Jin Jilo. Precious guide, one with the Buddhas of all the three times. Blissful presence and source of all spiritual accomplishments. Fierce destroyer of illusion, who dispels every obstruction. We pray to you for blessing, inspiration, and realization. Please remove all outer, inner, and secret obstacles and spontaneously fulfill our aspirations. Our refuge prayer, twice in Tibetan, once in English. Sangye chodang soki chok namla Jongchu bardu dakni kapsuchi Dakji jinsongi pehi sonamgi Drola penshir sangye drupar shok Sangye chodang soki chok namla Jongchu bardu dagni kapsuchi Dakji jinsongi pehi sonamgi Drola penshir sangye drupar shok. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, we go for refuge until fully awakened. Through the power of generosity, ethics, patience, enthusiastic effort, concentration, and wisdom, for the sake of all beings, may we realize and demonstrate our innate goodness. Remembering that the great yogi Milarepa sang, "My body is the holy mandala itself, wherein resides the Buddhas of all times. With their blessings I'm freed from all needs and attachments. By day and night I offer them up. Happy am I to do without material things, knowing that all beings in the 6 realms of samsara are inherently Buddhas, and all the 3 worlds the self-creating measureless Trikaya Palace. Whatever I do is the play of the Dharmadhatu, ultimate reality. Whoever I'm with is the Yidam deity. Wherever I stay is the Buddha's abode. Happy am I to forego outer supports, rituals, and symbols." So just sitting upright. We'll sit with natural body, which means not too tight and not too loose. Just upright, seated. Here and now. This body, this moment, this experience, I am. Natural breath and energy, breathing into the belly, diaphragmatically breathing, so the belly moves out when you breathe in. And then simply relax to exhale. Breathing in with intention. And breathing out with ease. Here now, awake and aware. I am. We sit with natural heart-mind, open, curious, examining, not judging, simply watching, curiously studying, here and now, awake and aware. I am. So focus on the breath for a few long, slow, deep breaths of intentive awareness. Feeling the sensations and bringing all of your attention to here and now. Floating with that breath. Now I want you to bring your attention to your thoughts. Oftentimes we're trying to slow down our thoughts or even eradicate them from our experience during meditation. But today be awake and aware, watching those thoughts. We'll call this free-range thoughts. You just let each thought arise and be what it is, while you watch, attentively aware that the thought has arisen. No need to analyze it or try to decode it. Just see it as a thought arising and swirling. Dancing the dance of thoughts. And then maybe even settling as another thought arises. So just let it go, let it come and go, while you practice watching. As a new thought arises, allow it. Simply watch. No need to analyze or judge. No need to try to hide it away or stuff it down. Just watch. Be the observer, here and now, just watching. By the blessings of the Triple Gem, may the minds and hearts of all beings be attuned to the sublime Dharma. Bless us to move forward on the path of true understanding. May the way be cleared of all impediments. Bless us that the elusive vision may appear in the light of the transcendent wisdom of Buddha. May unskillful thoughts and actions cease to arise. Bless us with the awakening of true love and compassion. May all beings realize perfect enlightenment. beings experience true enlightenment. So today I gave you the exercise of watching your thoughts rather than driving them away or trying to tuck them neatly somewhere, silencing the mind. That's, I think, what many of us do when we sit down to meditate, is that we're trying to stop all that chaos and commotion from happening, because it's like the dogs barking in the background are absolutely crazy. It seems endless, and it just comes over and over and over again and seems frustrating, right? So the practice today of really just noticing, what does a thought do? As you just watch it arise and do its little dance, trying to get your attention. Hey, follow me. Let's go over here to the past, or let's go into the future, or let's think about something. So I'm curious when we get to the satsang in about 20 minutes, where we can discuss and you can ask some questions. I can ask some questions of you. I'm curious to know what you noticed about your thoughts. And maybe, as you know, sometimes happens when you try to watch them, they hide. So maybe you got that unexplained calm where you weren't plagued by a ton of thoughts. So congratulations if that happened. It won't happen every time, but congratulations if it did today. So the nature of these thoughts, and I'm, tapping to my own experience, and what I jotted down toward the end of the meditation was that many of those thoughts, for me, are shoulda, woulda, couldas. Those ruminating thoughts of, if I had just done that thing, or if I had just been in that one place, or stayed a little longer, or left a little sooner, or it's like that post-game analysis of what did I do right and what did I do wrong. There's a bit of that, and some judgment that comes with that. I did the wrong thing, or I should have done the right thing. Coulda, woulda, shouldas. There's also need-tos. I still need to finish that one class. I need to read that one book. I need to fill the car up with gas, or need to pay my bills, or I need to meditate more, or I need to grab lunch because I'm hungry. Those thoughts arise. So what's the true nature, do you believe, of those thoughts? And I'm curious to hear your input. But as we've been talking about with the Lojong teachings, and I'll kind of drive through where we've gone so far, and there's a kind of part of the last aggregate piece of last week's lesson. I intentionally kind of left for this week, and it says, since harmful thoughts and actions are everywhere, transform them into the path. So what does that mean? How do we transform that into the path? And remember, this path is about true awakening, true understanding, when we can understand what's actually going on in our experience, we're less likely to be dragged around by it. So this exercise today of pointing our attention directly to our thoughts with that specific endeavor in mind. And it's not just harmful thoughts, all thoughts. But as we know, our suffering is a direct result of our attachments. Say that again. Our suffering is a direct result of our attachments. So let's go back to those two thoughts, those type of thoughts that I just mentioned, the shoulda, woulda, couldas. Where's the attachment there? What do you think that attachment is? Think about it for a moment. To me, it's the attachment to outcome, where I want to control things. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Darn, I'm going to do that right next time. Trying to control my outcomes so that maybe I won't suffer. Need-tas. Need-ta is wanting, craving, grasping. Wanting something different than I have, or wanting to hold on to what I have. And these are the direct path to suffering, that attachment. So how do we not attach to those thoughts? How do we not attach to those thoughts? The answer for me is the awakened awareness of them. When I can understand the true nature of those thoughts, when I can understand where they're derived from, what their intention is, and it's the ego's intention for me to control the outcome. It's my ego's intention to hold on to what I have, including this body, this self, this individual self that it has created in my experience. So we can take that step back and just see and examine those pieces, those aggregates of our experience. Ah, that's my ego doing its little thing. That's attachment resounding in my thoughts, dragging me back time and time again to the attachments. So when I can see what it's about, I can let go of it and not just blindly follow it to wherever it leads. So since harmful thoughts and actions are everywhere, transform them into the path. Think about your own harmful thoughts. And it doesn't just mean thoughts of, I want to slap that woman because she's annoying me, or I want to, I want that Ferrari for myself, or I ordered a sandwich and she ordered a salad, and I think my her salad looks better than my sandwich and I want that. Rather than just getting torn into that and just pulled around, going back, can understand, that's craving, that's attachment, that's need to control, all the same thing, and driving us to that same point of suffering, struggle. Not enough. I don't have enough, or I don't have what I want. I have too much of what I don't want, and I have not enough of what I think I need. So when we study that and see it with awareness and ease. That just is what it is. That's a thought. It's easier to navigate. And so when we sit, this idea of settling the mind is not about pushing the thought away. It's understanding its nature and not being pulled and dragged by it. The thoughts will continue to arise, whether they're mundane, whether they're harmful. And we can, not that we should condemn our thoughts, but to understand that many of them drag us to suffering, so therefore it is harmful. So when we get caught in that, find the joy in it as well. There's when we see the Ferrari, instead of just sitting in jealousy or craving, I want that, or I don't want that, we can find the joy in, that's a thing that exists, and it's cool, or it's not cool, or whatever it is for you. Just sit in the joy of understanding. So there's all of these narratives that we can access. Joy, suffering, attachment, clinging, ease. These are all things that are available. So with intention, we let some of those things in. It doesn't have to be one-sided and just craving and grasping. But maybe a little joy in understanding that's what's going on. So I want to roll through, not past, these, and I won't spend any real time on them, but I want to list them. These are the Lojong teachings. So we started off in part 1, the basis for training in awakening the mind. First, train in the foundations of the path, the suffering struggle, the karmic patterning. Let's try that again. The precious human opportunity, and impermanence. In part 2, this is the main practice of training in the awakening of mind in bodhicitta. So we're training in the absolute mind of awakening, the absolute mind of awakening, which is non-conceptual. Sense all that appears as like a dream. Examine the insubstantial nature of awareness. Let even the thought of emptiness release itself. Rest in the natural state, the ground of all, the essence of the path. In post-meditation, be a wizard of illusion. That's one of my favorites. The next is training in the relative mind of awakening. That's the relative you can think of as the physical, the human side, not the ultimate or universal. Train in giving and taking alternatively. Breathe out the giving, breathe in the taking. 3 objects, 3 poisons, 3 sources of virtue. Use words to make everything you do into the practice. Take difficulties gradually, starting with your own. And since harmful thoughts and actions are everywhere, transform them into the path. So then I want to talk about the relative practice of what we've done so far. And the next instruction is to drive all blame blames into one. Drive all blames into one. What does that mean? Well, luckily we just talked about it. What is the blame of our suffering? What is the blame of our suffering? I just told you. Yes, it's attachment. Attachment is the blame of suffering. The blame of suffering. So we understand attachment is the burden. Attachment is the burden. And we can drive all blames, everything that goes wrong, we can attach to attachment. We can attribute it to attachment. The next in this relative practice, and these are the two things that I want you to do this week, is I want you to see first that there is suffering, and that suffering is caused by attachment. So when you're feeling off kilter, you're feeling unsatisfied, you're feeling restless, look for the attachment. Where is my attachment? And this is not about judgment or criticism. It's to really see, just as we practiced just seeing a thought as it is. This is just seeing an attachment as it is, and a habit. When we can see that habit over and over again, we can relieve it by not following it. We can relieve the suffering by not following it into that state of suffering. So the next one is be grateful to all. Be grateful to all. And that means be grateful for what is joyful and what feels fantastic and that you enjoy, and be grateful for those experiences and those individuals that challenge you as well. Be grateful to all. And sometimes that's hard, but don't make it hard. Look at the aggregate of attachment in and of itself. Just see it and be grateful that this is an opportunity for understanding. That guy over there who just irritates the bejesus out of me. that guy is teaching me something about my own reactivity. Just see it as it is. See it as it is. So those are the two main things this week. Drive all blames into one. And don't just sign off on that blame. Look for it. Understand it. Where is my attachment in this moment? When you have an experience that's unpleasant, think about somebody cuts you off in traffic, and you have that unpleasant feeling. Oh my goodness, what's going on here? What's happening? So, in post assessment, endeavor to understand what happened there. Where was my attachment? What was my attachment to? My physical form, for one. You threatened my physical form, and I had a reaction. This relative self had a reaction because it wants to protect this physical form and it not to end abruptly because someone cut me off and wanted to, or wasn't intent on hitting me, but maybe being unsafe, and that felt uneasy. So endeavor to understand where your attachment is in everything. And there's attachment in things you enjoy as well. So when you're experiencing your coffee in the morning and you think, oh, I really like this coffee, look for the attachment. not to get rid of it. We're not trying to get rid of things that we don't like, or get more of what we like. That's not the point. The point is understanding the nature of attachment, so we can drive all blames into one, and that is the existence of attachment in our relative experience. It's important to see it and be grateful for the opportunity to continually see it. We're continually offered up these opportunities to understand more. So don't think of it as, oh, there's another thing. Oh, I'm suffering again. Look to it as an opportunity. And as you pull apart and dissect and examine those opportunities, good and bad, you'll find ease at the center. The ease is in the understanding. The ease is in the letting go and letting be. So try that. So if you are on a social media platform right now, being Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or maybe you're on our website, KansasCityBuddhistCenter.com, you might be sitting there and watching us. We are also on Zoom right now if you're watching this live at almost 10:30 Central. So we have a few minutes that we're going to spend on satsang, which is a Sangha community question and answer. So we'll dialogue a little bit. So if you like to participate in that, there's a nice little group of us right here. Just go to KansasCityBuddhistCenter.com, and there's a banner right across that top page, or that front page, and you can click on it and sign up, get the credentials to join, and I'll see you come in and let you in. So with all of that, I'm going to close this part of our service, and we'll move on to the satsang. So we will close with the prayer for 10 accomplishments by Lama Surya Das, followed by our refuge, our bodhicitta dedication. May we realize true sincerity and integrity, inner purity of mind, dispassionate equanimity toward all we see, right understanding of this dreamlike world and the next, loving compassion toward others and the genuine intention to be helpful in alleviating suffering and confusion. May we directly perceive the truths of impermanence, mortality, and interconnectedness, relinquish wandering thoughts and rampant desires, accomplish freedom of mind and clarity of spirit, remember with gratitude those who have gone before and shown the way, and vow to reach together full and complete enlightenment. Jamchub Semcho Grinpoche Makye Panam Ke Yurchi Ke Panyam Parme Payong Gong Ne Gong Du Pelwar Sho Jong Chup Sem Cho Grimpoche Makye Panam Ke Yurchi Ke Panyam Parme Payong Gong Ne Gong Du Pelwa Sho. May the pure, brilliant sun of bodhicitta dawn in each and every heart and mind, dispelling the darkness of suffering and confusion, unstoppably until all are illumined and awakened. Body, speech, and mind directed toward awakening and for the benefit of all beings, without one single exception. Alright, we're going to pop over to our satsang. Hi everybody.